Hello and welcome to, I want to say Thursday Zoom, but guess what? We had some technical issues yesterday, so it is our first Friday Zoom. Thank you guys for coming on. Melinda's my repeat, and the Dakota and Cheyenne are different than students that got on yesterday, but thank you so much for coming and being a part of Zoom. We're going to be moving into chapter 14, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to actually be doing some announcements first. I also want to tell you guys, please excuse me if I cough. I'm still getting over the vids, and for some reason, I'm still got the cough. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is talk about some announcements. Did you guys look at news and announcements to see our attendance challenge? Melinda's shaking her head no. Why in the world? Students, ONBC, Miss Marcia's class, I take a lot of time to put those news and announcements up for y'all, and if you're not looking at them, guess what? You're missing stuff. I'm going to give bonus points one day in news and announcements just to see who's looking at them. Then y'all gonna be sorry, huh? So we're beginning chapter 14. We have 3 days in chapter 14. Our holiday break, yay, starts on 12/19, and we won't be back until 1/3 of 2023. So during your 2 weeks off, I have a fun project for you. And next Thursday, we'll go over that, but I took a lot of time. One of the little sections is named the Hurt Day of Christmas instead of the first day of Christmas. So I tried to make it Christmas themed. Have y'all noticed all of my cute Christmas themed slides? I'm having the best time. It's making me feel like I'm in the Christmas spirit. All right, so here we go. So who has their CPT manuals handy? If you don't, let's get them. Okay, Dakota, I know that you're at work. And that's okay. I'm going to get my.
I have the app on my phone.
Well, if you feel like you can follow along with the app, that's perfectly fine. If not, it's okay just to listen. So we're actually starting in our integumentary system. I'm so excited. It's my favorite because I like gross stuff. I like the oozy and the pussy and the sores and the, I don't know. I just like it. When we were in class, I used to have games for the integumentary system. And one of the games that I had was it was like a Dr. Pimple Popper piece of skin, and you would stuff it with Vaseline, and the students could mash it and it would come out. And we did lots of things, like we had baskets with pantyhose pulled through, and we would excise lesions and things like that. So that was a lot of fun. All right, so if you look on page, let me find my page, 91 is where we're going to start. And I'm going to enlarge this so that we can take a look. So on page 91 of our CPT, we have some important things, some resources that we can use while we're coding. You're going to have your glossary here, and this is just showing you, for example, introduction and removal is on page 94. So if you were having trouble finding something in your index, you could always refer to the very beginning of your chapter in your CPT, and it's going to give you some more indicators. You're also going to find that you have a lot of anatomy guidance here. So I just think that these anatomy pictures and diagrams are just so helpful, because sometimes we have to code something and we don't know what it is, right? Well, we can usually find it in our diagram. So did you know integumentary system codes are signed across a variety of medical practices, not just dermatology practices? Incisions, repairs, biopsies, removals, destruction, and shaving are just a few of the types of services reported with integumentary codes. Excuse me. Okay, so this is going to be a true or false question. So thinking about what we just talked about, or what I just read, dermatologists are the only providers who utilize the codes in the integumentary system subsection of the CPT manual. True or false?
False.
It is false. A wide range, right? Okay. So let's talk about the formatting of this section. The subsection is formatted on the basis of anatomic site. Now we need to remember this, okay? The anatomic site, if you can't find it for the site, you're going to need to look for it under the procedure. Okay, remember when we talk about key terms, if we do not pick the correct key term the first time, what do? We go back and pick again, right? Okay. So an example of an anatomic site is is the neck, and a procedure is repair, if you're going to repair something. The subsection integumentary contains the subheading skin, subcutaneous and accessory structures, nails, pilondial cysts, which I love because they can be oozy and gross. Introduction, repairs, which can be closures if you get a cut. Destruction, and also breast, that includes mammograms. Each subheading is further divided by category. For example, the subheading skin, subcutaneous, and accessory structures is divided into the following categories. And I just went through, I put our code ranges on the side. I'm not going to read through the numbers. I will just talk about what you can find in the subheadings. So you're going to have introduction and removal, incision and drainage. That one's cool. I like that one. Debridement or debridement. It just depends on which coder you're talking about to the pronunciation. I say debridement. Paring or cutting, biopsy. Who's familiar with a biopsy? Pretty much everybody knows what a biopsy is, right? Removal of skin tags. Those are those little things that you get on, they kind of look like moles. Shaving of epidermal or dermal lesions. Excision, benign lesions, and excision, malignant lesions. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you about benign and malignant lesions, before you select a code, what do you think you need to know? Is it benign or is it malignant? So benign means non-cancerous, malignant means cancerous. So which is going to carry the most weight when you're talking about CPT coding and especially diagnosis coding, right? It's going to be that malignancy. So be very, very careful when you're reading your scenarios to see if it's benign or malignant. Now, if it doesn't indicate, you always refer back to benign. If you can ask a doctor or you can go back in the history, you can do that too. But if none of that's available to you, please, you will be coding it as benign. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Lesions, excisions, and destruction. To code these procedures properly, you must know the site, number, and size of the excised lesions, as well as whether the lesion is malignant or benign. Now, in news and announcements for today and in today's bell ringer, I have put a video where she's so great. I can't think of her name. I'm sorry, I lost her name. But she is going to go over how to tally up and add up the diameter of different lesions and cuts in order for you to be able to come up with the correct size to know which CPT code to choose. That sounds so much more complicated than it's actually going to be, but I want to ask that you guys please, please, please use that resource. I listened to it and I tried to come up with a way to explain it better than she did, and I could not. So I'm going to let her explain it. So let's talk about some key terms. Shaving means to slice. So when you're shaving something, you're actually slicing the hair off, right? So shaving means to slice. Excision is cutting or removal. Destruction is ablation. Have any of you ever had an ablation? Where they just laser it, that makes that clicking sound when they do it. Paring is peeling or scraping. So those are some key terms that are important when you're talking about coding the integumentary system. All right, now we're going to start taking a look at our CPT. So I'm going to refer you to the correct page, page 94, and I've taken a picture of it if you don't want to turn there. Excuse me. In your code descriptor, pay close attention to the details. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit larger. This is why I chose this format, so I can make it really big. So let's take a look at code 10030. It says image guided fluid collection drainage by what? A catheter, right? So catheter is very important because it's telling us what it was drained by. And for example, we're going to be draining an abscess, a hematoma, a seroma, a lipocell, a cyst. It's going to be soft tissue, which can be extremity, abdominal wall, and neck, and it's percutaneous. Those are a lot of words, right? Are you guys scared of that right now? You've done some coding. You know that they're just giving you examples of what could be found in your scenario, right? All right, so let's scroll down a little bit. We're going to look at 10035, which is the placement of soft tissue localization devices, which could be a clip, a metallic pellet, wire or needle, radioactive seeds. This is percutaneous, including imaging guidance, and it's the what? The first lesion. So if you only have one lesion, what are you going to do? What code are you going to use? You're going to use this one, right? Now, can I ever use 10036 as my only code? Why can't I, Cheyenne?
Why you gonna call me out, Mr. Marsha?
I am.
I know, I see that. The answer is right there in my head, but I can't get it out of my mouth.
Okay, Melinda, help us out here.
Because it's an add-on code.
How do we know it's an add-on code?
That's the word. You don't see that plus sign?
Well, I was asking you if you saw the plus sign.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's how you know the plus sign.
The plus sign. Any code, any CPT code that has a plus sign in front of it, a plus sign, we cannot use that as our standalone code, right? We need to use that in conjunction with a regular code. Excuse me one second. So sorry.
Right.
Okay, so let's take a little bit of a look at I'm going to kind of make it smaller here. So what CPT code should be used for a CT guided breast wire localization percutaneous, including imaging guidance first lesion? I read that really fast, right? But I'm going to blow it up a little bit so you guys can read it slowly. What CPT code should be used for a CT, a computed tomography, guided breast wire localization, percutaneous, including imaging guidance, and it's the first lesion. So let's take a look at 10035, placement of soft tissue localization devices, a clip, a metallic pellet, and what do we have here? A wire. So do you see here our breast wire? Okay. And also it's percutaneous. So percutaneous lines up to percutaneous here, right? And we're only going to do the first lesion. So if we were just coding the one lesion, it would be 10035. Now let's take a look at this. If we were doing two lesions, how would we code this? It's the same answer, but what CPT code? How are we going to code this? Melinda. Hello, class.
The 10035 first, and then 10036.
Yes, because you have one here and then one here. So that is two, correct? So two lesions. All right. Do you understand that, Cheyenne? Hi, Ramona.
I knew the
Welcome,
answer. I just
welcome.
wasn't going to tell you, Miss Marsha.
Listen, Cheyenne, I am done today. You better get yourself straight, lady. All right. So if we were coding for 5 lesions, what would we need to do? Well, obviously, we're going to use CPT code 10035, right? Because that's our first lesion. So how are we going to put in the next 4? What would we do? So we're going to do 10035 and what?
10036
Now, are we going to
times 4.
times 4? Ramona, great job. Now, if you want to type out 4 of those, sure, go right ahead. But your third party payer is actually going to understand when you do 10036 times 4. So you have your 4 with your 10036 and your 1 with 10035, and that equals 5 lesions. Does that make sense? Good. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to need to make it a little bit smaller now. So now we're going to go to biopsies on page 97. So again, I took pictures of the CPT so we could look at it together, but I'm not going through every subsection. I'm just hitting on some. So what is a biopsy? A biopsy is a term applied to the procedure of removing tissue for histopathology, study of microscopic tissue changes. Removing a tissue sample of a lesion may be by needle aspiration. The needle is inserted for sampling of the cells. Incisional biopsy, which is open, sharp, and partial removal, or by excisional biopsy, which is a complete removal. You would not report both a biopsy and an excision performed at the same time as the biopsy. It's going to be bundled into one procedure. Why? Because we only made one opening in one body part, right? So when we're in the same opening, we can't charge an additional code. Did you guys remember that? Yes, no, maybe, come on. Did we remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, okay. Let's see, where was I? I lost my place. Okay, for CPT lesion biopsy codes, only a portion of the lesion and some of the surrounding tissue is removed. The section of surrounding tissue is the margin, is included so that pathologists can compare the normal tissue to the lesion tissue and note the difference. Okay. Excuse me. I thought I put something at the bottom. When I had my thyroid removed, they had to take a little bit of tissue from around my where my thyroid was, because my my tumor was right on the margin of that other piece of tissue. So your margin is where it butts up against, right? Sort of like your note paper margin. That red line is the margin, right? So if you have a cancer sitting right there, they've got to go over the margin just a little bit. They want to make sure, one, that they have a healthy sample of tissue to compare the unhealthy sample. And they also want to make sure that they're getting everything. Okay, so let me blow this up so we can look at our CPT code, our CPD book here. All right, so if we look at code 11102, well, here I am. I just need to turn the page. There we go. So 11102 is tangible. No, it's tangential biopsy of the skin, and that's a single lesion. Then here, 11103 is each separate additional lesion. So if we had 50 lesions, we're going to use 11102 for one, and the next 49 are going to be 11103 times whatever the number is. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So here we have what's called parenthetical notes, one of my favorite words. I don't know why I like saying it. I think it makes me feel smart. So we're going to report 11103 in conjunction with these CPT codes. When different biopsy techniques are performed to sample, separate additional lesions for each type of the biopsy technique used. So always look at your parenthetical notes and note that there are lots of add-on codes in this subsection. So I'm going to refer you to some anatomy again. This is a tangential biopsy. It kind of gives you an example. A punch biopsy, which is they use the little punch thing and they punch your skin and they pull that out. And then incisional biopsy of the skin, which is used, you have to use a scapula for that. Any questions on biopsies? No? All right, so let's talk about coding pilonidal cysts, and it's on page 105. So pilonidal cyst is 11770, and this is going to be a simple cyst, but then it gets more, and it ups the ante every 1 point that we go up. So 71 is extensive, 72 is complicated. How are we going to know if it's simple, extensive, or complicated? How are we going to know? You're going to know through osmosis, right? You're just going to know through osmosis. How do you know what you need to code every single time? Your medical record, right? You guys are being
Yes.
shy today. Come on now. So once again, how are we going to know what the extent is of the cyst? Where are we going to find the information?
The medical record.
Medical records.
The medical records, right? Okay. All right, so I took a picture of the other side, which has most of the codes. So again, just pay close attention to your centimeters, your square centimeters. Remember when I was talking about that video that I put up for you guys to watch? It's going to give you lots of information that you're going to use right here. So please refer to that. Make sure that you're looking for your add-on codes, which is indicated by the plus sign, right? All right, so now we're going to get to what you guys want to do. Got to get through all the words before we can get through to the coding, right? So now we're going to test our knowledge. So the first scenario that we have is pairing of 3 common warts. So what is our main term?
Pairing.
Pairing. What are we doing? We're actually pairing, right? Hi, Shalandra. Nice to see you.
Hello.
All right, so our index, we're going to go to pairing. So here we go. Index, we're going to go to pairing. Oop. If you find it, let us know what page number. I got 1184. Let me know when you have page 1184. So once you get there, you're going to have a choice of 2 codes. Or no, you're going to have a range of codes. 11055 through 11057. Do you guys see that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now we go back to our tabular, right? So 11055. Page 97 in your tabular. So it's the pairing of 3 common warts. So 11055 is a single, 11056 is 2 to 4, and 11057 is 4 lesions. What's our answer?
1056.
11056. Yep, that's the answer. Okay, the removal of 15 skin tags. So what is our key term? What are we going to look up?
Removal.
Removal. But you can also look up lesion, but this one, because I actually coded it already. So in our index, I went removal. Then it says skin tags 11200 or 11201. So I'm looking on page 99 of my tabular.
One one two zero zero.
11200. Why is that our answer?
Because it's the removal of skin tags and it includes 15 lesions.
That's right, 15. That's our key right there, 15. All right, we're going to do one more scenario together. Shaving of 1 centimeter dermal lesion of the face. I'm going to tell y'all, go to lesion. Because I went to shaving and it wasn't there. Or I think you could probably go to face. I'm going to try face just because y'all know me. I like to rock the boat a little bit. So
Is it
face
11301?
11301. 11301. No, but you're close. Look on the next page. On page 101. So when I go to face in the back, it says face lesion. That's not right. It should be something.
Is it 11311?
11311. 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Do we agree? Page 101, 11311.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what I have too.
What's the difference?
The difference is, okay, let me read. Shaving of epidermal. Okay, 11300 is for the trunk, arms, or legs. The 11310 is for the face, ears, eyelids, nose, lips. Do you see, Shalandra?
I'm looking at 100 and 101. I'm just trying to see the difference.
Okay. Trying to figure out what?
Why is it different?
Okay, look at 11310. Right, that's going to give you lots of information. So it's the shaving of the epidural dermis single lesion for the face, ears, eyelids, nose, and lips, but it's 0.5 centimeters. We're looking for 1 centimeter. So 11311 is 1 centimeter. Okay, now the reason that it's not
301.
301, look at 11300. It says these are for the trunk, arms, legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but this is fun. I think this is the funnest section. I like this in the digestive system. I don't know why, because I'm just strange, I guess. Okay, how did you guys like that? Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
All right. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I'm going to be uploading this video and I'm putting it in our gray tab on Zanzibar under Zoom classes. I'm so glad I got to see y'all. I feel so good now. I get to have a great weekend.
I'm gonna send you a private message.
Huh?
I'm gonna send you a private message.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Have some fun. Get caught up if you need to. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.